Hi, my name is Katia. I am a student from Tech Milenio, Campus Ciudad Obregón, and the topic I'm going to talk about is the Cold War. The Cold War was a long period of tension between the democracies of the Western world and the communist countries of Eastern Europe. The Cold War began not too long after World War II ended in 1945. The Cold War came to an end with the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. Some important dates are the Korean and Vietnam War, where each country was divided between northern communist region and southern capitalist one. The Berlin Wall was a border area that divided the German capital. Hence there were two sides, one under capitalist control and the other communist. The race to space. When the Soviet Union successfully launched the first artificial satellite in history into space, the United States responded with an aggressive space program that reached its climate with the landing of the first man on the moon in 1969. The term Cold War. It is called cold because it never escalated to an open and direct military conflict between the two nations. The general definition of Cold War is the following: a continuing state of resentful antagonism between two parties short of open hostility or violence. Capitalism and Socialism. Capitalism is an economic system where private entities own the factors of production. In capitalism, owners control the factors of production and derive their income from it. Capitalism incentivizes people to maximize the amount of money they earn through competition. Competition is the driving force of innovation as individuals create ways to accomplish tasks more efficiently. Some precursors are Joseph Alois Schumpeter, John Maynard Keynes, and Adam Smith. Socialism is an economic system where everyone in society equally owns the factors of production. Socialism is a system that shares economic output equally throughout the population. It values the collective well-being of the community rather than individuals. The government distributes resources, giving it greater control over its citizens. Some precursors are François-Marie Charles Fourier, Ernest Corduroy, and Robert Owen. The interview was made with my grandmother, Leticia Mendivid, who is 60 years old. She said that during the Cold War, the world leaders were the countries of the United States and the Soviet Union. The reason why the Allied countries became enemies was because they were afraid of those powers, and that was their way of protecting themselves. Also, many did not share the same ideals as them. The Cold War took place mainly in the USA and the USSR. But Cuba was key in the war. Europe, the rest of America, Vietnam, Korea also participated, but they kept their distance. Society kept its distance from problems and lived in fear of falling back into another war. The most lethal weapons both parties possessed were nuclear weapons. As a conclusion, we can say that the Cold War avoided a generalized direct confrontation. Permanent tension was set in motion. The constant military threat, both conventional and nuclear, along with ideological confrontation and economic warfare. Some governments refused to choose one superpower over the other, thus creating the Third World Movement. The economic systems of capitalism and socialism are opposites that led to the fight of several nations, to be the one that predominated among the others. As we could see, capitalism allows society to generate and take care of their living expenses as they can, while socialism puts a society where we all have the same, despite of what we do or how much effort do we put on. The Cold War did bring fear to the world at that time, but it also motivated several countries to progress and be the first in several cases. That's how one day we got to the space.
Hijo de puta.